Welcome to Yoga Coast. My name's Bridie. I'm on Tasmania's east coast today at a place called Douglas. It's early morning, the sun's starting to rise, we're facing east. So I thought we'd go through some sun salutations and we'll work through some standing postures as well. Mainly because I'm very cold, I just took off my layers. It's still fresh, so I'm looking forward to the sun popping through the clouds. It's a little bit overcast this morning, but I can see some blue skies coming, so that's a bit nice. We're going to start in Tadasana at the very top of our mat. Hope the waves in the background aren't too much for you. You can still hear me quite clearly. It's a nice little bit of background noise. You might feel like you're beside the ocean with me, hopefully, this morning. Just bringing your feet underneath your hips and closing down your eyes if it feels comfortable for you. And just starting to feel your stance, feeling where your energy is resting in your body. Bringing your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet. And just notice if your weight's shifted more into the left foot, maybe more into the right. Just swaying, starting to distribute the weight evenly through all points of the foot. Really thinking about pressing into your big toe knuckle, your little toe knuckle and your heel center. And just start to lift all 10 toes from the mat. Feel that activate the inner arches of your feet. And keeping the inner arches lifted, just spreading all 10 toes back down to the mat. And starting to draw energy up through the soles of the feet with that lift, all the way up towards the knee joints, and just finding a gentle micro bend in the knees. So we don't want to lock out through the knee joints. We want that energy to be able to pass smoothly through our joints. And continue to draw up through the thighs, through the hammies, all the way into the pelvis. I want you to visualize your pelvis like a big bowl full of water. So if you were to tilt your pelvis forward, the water is going to pour out the front. If you were to tuck the pelvis under, water would be falling out the back. So just doing some movements here through the hips, tilting hips forward, pouring water out the front. Tilting hips back, pouring water out the back. Now can you start to even out that water in the bowl so that the water is calm and flat, finding a neutral pelvis. Good, feeling that lower belly engaged. Think about drawing your pelvic floor in and up. You start to grow a little taller, keep sending that lift up the length of your spine, bringing your awareness to the back of your neck. Just slightly drawing your chin towards the back of the throat, as though you have an orange underneath your chin. We're trying to hold that orange there. Long through the back of the neck now. Crown is reaching towards the sky. And then just starting to soften through the shoulders, sending your weight down into the earth, gaining that rebound back up into the body. Coming to find your breath. Feeling the breath swell just like the ocean through your body. Starting to expand the breath a little more throughout the whole body. Maybe visualize taking the breath all the way down to your toes. And on our next inhale breath, we're going to circle our arms up and overhead, bringing the palms to touch. And as we exhale, taking a nice big dive forward to fold. Nice deep bend in the knees to begin, belly to the thighs, hands down towards the mat. Sending your crown down towards your toes, let the head be heavy, maybe giving it a little shake here, rolling out through the neck. And shifting your weight forward to the tops of the feet, the hips come to stack over the heels. Then lifting halfway as we inhale, bringing your hands to your shins or thighs, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, long through the back of the neck. Then exhale, release, folding forward. Grounding into the feet, circle the arms high to rise, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive, folding forward. Lifting halfway, inhale, lengthen. Then exhale to fold. Rising to stand, inhale. One more time, exhale, diving forward. Halfway lift. Then exhale to fold, finding a dangle here at the bottom. We can bring hands to the elbows, again just swaying from side to side, maybe lunging into one knee, lunging into the other, just starting to circulate some energy, some blood through our body. And releasing back to our forward fold. Finding a halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, planting the hands, stepping back to our downward facing dog. Just here pedaling out through the feet, walking through the ankles. Maybe shifting the hips from side to side. We're going to find 3 breaths here in stillness. Lifting through the hips, sending your tailbone down towards your heels. Again, checking you're not holding through the head. Give the head another shake if you need. Pressing forward at the fingertips and just nice and soft through the elbow joints. Finding one more inhale. And as you exhale, start to soften your knees down towards the mat, finding our tabletop position. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Moving through our cat-cow. As you inhale, start to pour the water out the front of the pelvis, so we tilt the hips forward, belly lowers, that ripples up the length of our spine as we thread our heart forward. And exhale, pouring water out the back of the pelvis as you tuck the tail under, chin to chest, rounding through the spine. Inhale, finding your cow pose. And exhale, drawing under cat spine. I'm just going to let you move with your own breath here. Maybe you dance out your cat, listen to your body, having a wiggle, however feels good, just to start to wake up through your muscles, release any tightness, any niggles. Meeting back into our tabletop. Starting to tuck the toes under just a little. We're coming to find or hover here as we breathe in. Then exhale, lifting the knees just off of the mat, starting to warm up through our core. Our core supports us throughout our whole practice. Try not to dump all of your weight in the wrist. Press into your fingertips, gripping onto your mat. Navel to spine, hugging the rib cage in towards the back body, whole core is strong. Take one more breath in. And as you exhale, lifting the hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale. And softening the knees to hover once again. Exhale. Good, 3 breaths to hold here. Keep pressing into the palms, strong through the core. One more inhale. Hips high, exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a nice big ripple forward through the spine as you inhale, lift to the toes. Rolling forward, coming to ground the knees, finding our low plank. Taking a breath in. Then as you exhale, hug your elbows in tight, lower the belly all the way down to the mat. Cobra Pose, press the tops of the feet to the mat, knees lift, ground the pubic bone. As you inhale, rise through the heart. And exhale to release. Tucking the toes, pressing the hips back, finding our downward facing dog. Full breath in. Nice big breath out. Lifting high on the toes, gazing forward between the hands, just tiptoeing forward to our forward fold. Lifting halfway, inhale. Exhale to fold. And just a nice body roll to rise here, soften the knees, ground the feet, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae as you roll to stand. Releasing the shoulders again to be soft. Shoulder blades rest behind the heart here. We find our feet, we find that neutral pelvis, flat bowl of water. We send our energy high to the sky. Just moving through a few rounds of our Surah Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. Beginning in Tadasana, inhaling together. Releasing deeper into your body as you exhale. Circling arms high, inhale. Swan dive, folding forward, exhale. Halfway lift, long through the spine, crown forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, stepping back to our low plank. Grounding the knees, shift your weight forward as you exhale, elbows drawing tight, feel them brush the sides of your rib cage. Rising to Cobra, inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Toes tuck under. You can pass via your child's pose to make your way to downward facing dog. Cycle of breath here. And lifting high on the toes, gaze forward, stepping forward to your forward fold. Lifting halfway, inhale. Exhale to fold. Circling arms high, inhale, palms touch. Thumbs draw to heart center, exhale. Inhale, arms circle high. Exhale, swan dive, folding forward. Lifting halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, stepping back to your plank. Again, lower the knees, hug the elbows in tight, find your belly. Rising to your Cobra, inhale, open through the chest. And exhale, release, toes tuck under, hips lift, downward facing dog. Cycle of breath, here comes the sun. And lifting high on the toes, gaze forward, step into your forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Arms rise high, inhale. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. One last round, circling arms, inhale, rise. Exhale, swan dive, folding forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, option to step, maybe jump back to your plank, lowering knees or toes, Chaturanga if you're feeling warm, rising to your upward dog, knees stay lifted, hips stay lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog. Cycle of breath. Rising high on the toes, bend the knees. The end of the out breath, we step or float forward to our fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rising to stand, inhale, palms touch. Exhale, thumbs to the heart. Good, releasing back to Tadasana. Finding your feet once again, noticing any changes in your body. Maybe you start to feel your prana, your life force energy circulating. Moving on to Surah Namaskar C. Starting to warm through the legs, through the hips, creating more heat in the body. breath in together. Full breath out. Floating the arms, inhale. Exhale, dive forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Stepping the right foot back, lowering the knee, untuck the toes, aligning the left knee on top of the left ankle. Stabilize through your core as you inhale, reach your arms high to lunge. And exhale, release, frame the foot, stepping back to your high or low plank. Moving through your vinyasa, lower knees or toes, chaturanga, rising cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Floating the right leg high, three-legged dog, keeping all 5 toes pointing down towards the mat. Curling knee to nose, exhale, create space, press through the palms to step the foot between the hands. Lower the left knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, we rise to low lunge. Exhale, release, frame the foot, tuck the left toes under, step forward to fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise to stand, inhale, palms connect. Swan dive, folding forward, exhale. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, our left foot steps back. We ground the knee, untuck the toes, right knee on top of right ankle. Inhale, rise the arms, palms face in towards one another. Exhale, release, frame the foot. Again, high or low plank. Lowering on your out breath, hug your elbows in tight. Inhale, cobra, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lengthens, inhale, rising high. Exhale, curling knee to nose, ground the foot between the hands, right knee lowers, untuck the toes. Inhale, low lunge. Then exhale, release, frame the foot, right toes tuck, we step to fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rising to stand, inhale, lead with your back, palms touch. Thumbs to heart center, exhale. Breathing in. Tadasana on your out breath. One last sun salute here, moving through Surah Namaskar C. So finding our chair pose, either big toes touching knees together, otherwise we find our feet hip distance apart, ensuring that the knees stay also tracking hip distance apart, directed over the toes. So moving into chair pose. Weight comes back into the heels as you inhale, sweep your fingertips outside your feet. Lowering the hips down, reaching the fingers high. This feels yucky in your shoulders, you can always bring your hands into prayer. And starting to neutralize through the pelvis once again. Pelvic floor lifts, lower belly draws in and up. Broaden through the collarbone. You should be able to see all 10 toes in front of the knees. Inner thighs working, outer thighs working. Take one more breath in. Then exhale, release, folding forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step or jump to your plank. Maybe lower straight to chaturanga, cobra, upward dog, inhale. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Floating our right leg, inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, curling knee to nose, ground the foot between the hands. This time we're finding warrior one. The back heel grounds, back foot on a 45-degree angle. Right knee stacked on top of right ankle. As you inhale, arms lift high, lunging forward. Drawing navel in, keep lifting and expanding from your core. Inner arches of the feet are lifted. Exhale, release, frame the front foot. We step back to our plank, maybe finding downward facing dog or taking your vinyasa, all meeting in our down dog. From our downward facing dog, floating left leg high, inhale. Exhale, curling knee to nose. We ground the foot. Warrior one, back heel grounds. Rise into your lunge. Coming back to your core. Lift to the fingertips. Inner arches of the feet are lifted here. One more breath in. And exhale, release, frame the foot. Again, option to take your vinyasa or meet in downward facing dog. Cycle of breath in, down dog, inhale. Full breath out. Lifting high on the toes, step or float to forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise into chair pose. Hips come back, weight comes into the heels, arms come high. Nice, taking a breath in. Full breath out, maybe sink a little lower. Then inhale, rise to stand, Tadasana. Good, taking a few breaths here. Grounding feet back down to the earth. On our next in-breath, we rise, arms, palms meet overhead. Exhale, swan dive to fold. Lifting halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold, stepping the left foot back. Coming to ground the back heel for warrior two. The outer edge of the back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Cartwheeling the arms as you inhale, rise. And just bringing the hands to the hips to begin, finding our base. So again, we're checking that right knee is on top of the ankle. We should be able to see our big toe just inside the front knee, so we're externally rotating through that front hip. Energy draws down the outside of the back leg into the outer edge of the foot. And to find that lift of the inner arches, maybe we lift all 10 toes again, just to activate and switch on. You can keep them lifted or release the toes back down to the mat. And again, finding that neutral pelvis, so we're not poking our butt out here, we're not hunched and tucked forward, we're not leaning the torso forward. So we want to stack the head on top of the tailbone, gentle activation through the core, and then we might keep our hands on our hips if that feels good, or maybe we start to extend the arms long. Checking that back hand is in line with the back shoulder. And we send our gaze over our front middle finger. And coming back to that orange underneath the chin, even though the neck is twisted. Trying not to lose that lunge in the front knee, legs starting to warm up here. Bringing your awareness into your shoulders. I want you to send any tension you have in your shoulders out down the length of your arms and out, releasing through the fingertips. One more cycle of breath to hold. Nice work. And then as we inhale, we reverse our warrior. Flip your front palm. Reach in behind. Keep the right knee stacked over the ankle. Deep breath into the right lung. Full breath out. Maybe lunge a little deeper. One more inhale, strong through the core. The left arm is light on the thigh. And exhale, release extended side angle. Forearm comes to our thigh. As you inhale, reach your left fingertips up and overhead. Finding a nice line from left fingertips to the outer edge of the back foot. We roll the heart open towards the sky. Nice and spacious again through the neck. 2 more breaths here. One more to reverse your warrior. Inhale, right fingertips reach. And exhale, release, come to frame your front foot. Finding the ball of your back foot. We're stepping that left foot in slightly, finding your pyramid pose. So back foot finds 45 degrees again. Both hands frame the foot. Maybe you have some props, you can bring the earth closer to find some lift. So drawing the right hip back, left hip forward. Again, inner arches of the feet are lifted, pressing into those pinky toes, grounding into big toe. I want you to visualize your heels drawing in towards one another, inner thighs activate, and sending your nose down towards your knee. Finding a halfway lift as you inhale. Gain some length through the spine. Maintain that length as you exhale, fold forward. 2 more breaths like this, lifting halfway, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, folding forward. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, fold. Holding here for just a few breaths. Maintaining that length you gained from your breath. Again, keep lifting the inner arches of the feet. Try not to lock out that front knee. If you find you're hypermobile, think about pressing your shin forward. That'll just start to hug all the muscles to the bone, supporting that knee. And planting the hands, start to soften into the right knee. We're stepping forward to fold. Lifting halfway, inhale. Exhale to fold. Rise to stand, inhale, arms circle high. Palms touch, exhale, thumbs to heart center. Finding a breath in. Exhale, Tadasana. Moving through the other side. We rise, inhale. Exhale, diving forward. Halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, stepping the right foot back. We prepare our stance for warrior 2, ground the back heel, outer edge of the back foot parallel to the back edge of the mat, stacking left knee on top of the left ankle. Now draw the heels in towards one another, activate through the core as you circle the arms high, find your warrior 2, hands can come to the hips. Checking for big toe inside the left knee. And checking that back knee, if you were to soften it, comes to align with the right toes. Squeezing on through left glute. Finding that neutral pelvis, not sticking the butt out, tipping water out the front. We're not tipping water out the back. Find that smooth, calm ball of water. And we can keep hands on the hips here. Or again, we start to extend the arms out long. Our gaze comes over our front middle finger. Checking that our back arm isn't doing anything funky off in space. And then we send all of that tension from our shoulders down the length of the arms, pressing out through the fingertips. Good, holding for another cycle of breath. And as we inhale, reversing our warrior, flip your front palm, reach the left fingertips, maintaining the lunge in the front knee, try not to come out and draw back. Using the core to support here, our right arm rests lightly on the right leg. Full breath in. And as you exhale, extended side angle, forearm to the thigh. Inhale, reaching right fingertips. Finding that nice line from right fingertips to outer edge of the back foot. We're not resting into the left shoulder. We're finding lift. We're finding space throughout the whole body. Drawing prana through the fingertips, both hands. Maybe you gaze underneath the right armpit. Taking one more breath in, find length. And on your next inhale, reverse your warrior once again. Reach the left fingertips. And exhale, release. Cartwheel the arms, come to frame your front foot. Maybe we step the right foot in to shorten the stance for your pyramid pose. Again, back heel is on, or back foot, 45-degree angle. Hands framing the feet, finding any props that you need for support. Drawing the left hip back, the right hip forward. Lifting the inner arches of the feet and engaging and hugging in through the inner thighs. Lifting halfway as you inhale. Exhale, fold, maintain the length you gained. 2 more, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Lengthening, inhale. Exhale, fold, coming to hold here at the bottom. Nose towards the knee, crown towards the toes. Starting to plant the fingertips, gazing forward, soften into the left knee, step forward to fold. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Arms rise, inhale, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive, folding forward. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We're stepping our left foot back, walking the hands over to the left, finding a nice wide-legged forward fold. Toes turn in, heels are turned out, hands to the mat. And lifting halfway, finding length through the spine. Then exhale, folding forward. 2 more again, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And from here, starting to walk your right hand over towards the left ankle, maybe finding a bind. Drawing back with the right hip as you inhale, taking a twist, reaching your left fingertips up towards the ceiling or the sky. This feels a little too deep, we can just plant the right palm underneath the face, finding your twist. If you'd like to further bind, we can start to bring that left hand to the right hip crease. Just making sure that we're not dropping into the right hip. We want to pull back, keeping nice and even through the lower back. Hugging the inner thighs in, weight shifts forward towards the tops of the feet. 1 more, inhale. If you have your bind, slowly start to release. Hands come to meet back under the face. Lifting halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. Start to turn the heels in towards one another. Rising to stand. Inhale, wide stance. Goddess squat as you exhale, bending into the knees. Send the knees behind. Looking for your big toes inside the knees, just as we did in our warrior two. Cactus through the arms, finding that stable bowl of water through the pelvis. Inner arches of the feet, lift the weights to the outer edges of the feet to do this. Taking a full breath in. As you exhale, maybe sink a little deeper into your goddess, holding for an inhale. Holding for the exhale. Then we ground into the feet, inhale, lengthen the arms, toes turn in, exhale, swan dive, folding forward. Lifting halfway, inhale. Then exhale to fold, taking that option of bringing left hand under the face to twist. So we walk the hands over to the right, left hand binds the right ankle, and finding your twist as you inhale, right fingertips reach. Again, feeling the hips, we're not dumping into the left hip, we're drawing back with the left hip, maybe finding and bind with the right hand, grabbing hold of the left hip crease. Weights drawing forward, inner thighs are active to support us here, drawing up through the kneecaps, not locking through the knee joints. If you have your bind, gently starting to release the right hand, release the left hand, finding our fold. Lifting halfway, inhale. Then exhale to fold. Walking hands back forward to frame the right toes. Come and find your runner's lunge. Stepping back to your plank, knees or toes. Just holding here, pressing out through the heels, pressing forward with the crown of the head. And on your next inhale, draw the weight forward. Exhale, lower knees or toes, Chaturanga. Rise into your Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, hips lift, downward facing dog. And from here, starting to soften the knees, finding your child's pose. We'll find a nice wide-legged child's pose, taking the big toes to touch, knees out wide, sinking the hips back down towards the heels. And your first time here with forehead to the earth. Starting to feel that support underneath you. Feeling the nervous system calm completely as you fold in on the body. Maybe finding a gentle rock of the head from side to side, massaging out. And just here, giving any thoughts that do not serve you to the earth, let it drain out and be dispersed and transformed. Just your little daily trash takeout here. Finding fresh perspective. And just coming in to draw yourself forward onto your belly. Finding an opening through the chest, bringing your right arm out onto a 45 degree, dropping the right cheek. And here we're bending through the left leg, taking left toes up and over. And exhale, releasing back onto your tummy. Starting to bend into the right leg. We're aligning that right knee with our right hip, so like a half frog shape position. Then threading the left arm underneath the chest, coming to roll onto the left side of the body. Bringing the right palm on top of the left. As you inhale, sweeping the right fingertips across the ceiling, the sky. And finding a twist, maybe your gaze follows your right hand as you come to open. Releasing the right palm back to meet the left. Extending the right leg long behind, coming to your tummy once again. And just finding our Sphinx pose here, elbows underneath the shoulders. Grounding the palms, start to press the tops of the feet, engaging the legs. Drawing navel to the spine, protecting lower back. We find length through the spine before we lift through the heart. And think about pulling into your heart and lifting your heart up through the crown of the head. And exhale, releasing the chest back down to the mat, reaching the left arm out on a 45-degree angle, dropping the left cheek, right arm's in a half push-up as you bend through the right leg, taking right toes up and over. Releasing back onto our bellies. Bending into the left knee, finding that half frog position with the leg. Weaving the right arm underneath the chest, coming to roll onto the right side of the body. Left palm meets the right. And we inhale, sweep the fingertips, paint the sky, send your gaze to follow, open to your twist. Here we're continuing all the way on to our back. Maybe wiggling off to the side. I'm nice and standing now. I'm starting to draw both of the knees in towards the chest and just drawing circles with the knees, dropping them out wide and bringing them back in together. Coming back in the opposite direction. Taking a half happy baby here. So we'll go full happy baby to finish. Send the soles of the feet up towards the sky, either grabbing the ankles or the outer edges of the feet. Maybe just maintain the knees out towards the side, continuing in those circles or holding in stillness. And starting to send your tailbone down towards the mat, just allowing the shoulder blades to rest back towards the mat also. Maybe it feels good to continue to hold here in your happy baby, or just taking any final movements that your body's calling for. When you feel ready, coming to find your resting pose. Maybe you find a seated meditation, or bend the knees, just knock the knees in towards one another, or finding Savasana. Legs out long, arms down by your side, palms facing up to receive. And starting to completely release any hold you have over your body. Allowing your body now to do what it knows to do best. Allowing all of the medicine of your practice to sink in, giving it the time here to filter everything it needs to, sending the prana where it needs to. Harmonize and balance your whole body. As always, I encourage you to stay for a little longer if you have the time. Otherwise, using the breath to start to think about finding movement. Drawing the breath down to the toes, maybe give them a little wiggle. Drawing the breath down to the fingertips, starting to wake up through the fingers. And drawing the breath to the crown of the head, maybe we reach the arms overhead. Nice big full body stretch. And taking whatever other stretches feel good to help you come back to your body. And just finding a slow roll onto your side. And rising and lifting into a seat here. And finishing our practice together, taking an inhale, bringing palms to touch. And as you exhale, bringing your thumbs to your third eye center, repeating in your own mind, I create my own reality. Bringing your thumbs to your lips, I speak my truth. And bringing your thumbs to your heart, I follow my heart. Bowing our head down in gratitude for our practice together, in gratitude for the sun that gives us life. Namaste.